Katy from the Calvert Webzine. Today we're at Uproar Festival, our very first music festival for the Calvert Webzine. And our very first band we're going to interview is Black Tide. Steven.
Hello.
For people who are just learning about your band or common fans, can you give us one fact that many people don't know about you and what you do in the band?
Let's see. Well, my name is Steven, and I'm the drummer for the band. One fact that many people don't know about me would be, you know what, I don't really know. I like to put myself out there. I think anything you could find out about me is probably online, or anything you would want to know is online. It's out there, so just research.
Okay. Where did the name Black Tide originate from?
Actually, we used to be called Radio, and then we were kind of nameless for about 6 months, and it came down to the time where we realized, you know, it's not too much about the name, but it's more about the music and it's about the people and what we represent. So we came to the agreement that we thought that Black Tide was a strong name, you know, and we really want that. You know, there's a few different meanings that we had tied to it, but in the end, what it's become and what it's progressed as a band, it's more of like our lifestyle and who we are. You know what I mean? So all those little meanings that we had for are pretty much insignificant.
Okay. What are some things that inspire you to write music, play music, or just do what you individually do with your life?
I'm inspired by, you know, a bunch of things. I'm inspired by every day that we're out here. I see other bands working really hard and doing a bunch of different things, you know. Band like Hell or High Water just playing it every day, and like I'm inspired by my guys on stage, you know. I'm inspired by our fans and the crowd, you know, every day. I feel like when we get a good crowd, I play a better show, you know, because I feed off that. I'm inspired by, you know, other successful people that are still humble, because that's something that I really value. People that are just down to earth, and regardless of all the success that they have, they're still, you know, just people. So those are the kind of things that I like.
Okay. Does any song off Postmortem have a special meaning to you?
Every song actually has a special meaning, and that's one thing that's great about Postmortem. It's such a change from our first record as far as lyrics. You know, lyrically, it's a record that has so much meaning. It's because, you know, there was so much passion that was put into the record. We've lived on the road for the past 4 years, and all the experiences that we've been in, all the relationships that we've been through, all the hardships that we've had are Postmortem. So, you know, we can really relate to every one of the songs.
Do you have maybe just that one song that means the most to you?
You know, it's hard to choose favorites when it comes to like your babies, you know what I mean? So,
do you feel the time between Warped Tour 2010 and the beginning to record Postmortem that gave you a chance to reflect on what you wanted to take from the band?
Yeah, absolutely. It was actually Warped Tour 2009 that we did. So, you know, it's a little bit longer. I mean, no, I'm not blaming you. Time's flying, so it kind of seems like it's only been a year, but it's already been 2 years, which is hard to imagine. We started writing Postmortem, you know, towards the latter part of Warped Tour when we were on the bus. You know, it was a long process. We wrote about 40-something songs, almost 50 songs for the record, and narrowed it down to 10 that are on that album now. And I am happy with where we're at as far as where we were then. I feel like we're progressing, we're always progressing, we're just going to keep maturing as musicians. And, you know, we never want to put out the same record twice, and that's what we're doing.
Wow. The album is getting mixed reviews. Some media outlets are citing it as a poor attempt at metal. Others praising it for as being as an artistic venture, well taken and appreciated. How does it feel to deal with the critics after working hard on something and have it put down by people unfamiliar with what the band went through making the album itself?
Right. Well, I mean, I always like to focus on positive things, and if people can say whatever they want, there's always going to be haters, you know what I mean? But we never focus on anything like that. But if they, like that one in particular, if they say it's a poor attempt at metal, I mean, I would agree. You know, but we don't want to be any genre. You know what I mean? It's not a metal record. Like, you listen to it front to back, you're not gonna think that it's a metal record. Mm-hmm. It's not just it's not a pop record. It's not a heavy metal record. It's not a thrash record. It's Black Tide. You know what I mean? I feel like we are our own genre as far as like we don't want to label ourselves at
Yeah.
all. So many bands are so worried about, oh, what are we? What kind of music are we going to make? When we are just focused on being creative. You know what I mean? We just want to be able to write whatever we want and be able to put it out. And you know what I mean? There are always going to be people that are critical. You know what I mean? But that's not what we're focused on. We just want to be true to ourselves, and that is that we are just musicians, and that's all we could ever be.
What's some advice you would give to bands just starting out who think they have to have a genre or that are afraid to kind of spread out?
I would say, you know, there are no limits. You know, and remember that. And as long as you're having fun, as long as you're happy with what you're doing, then that's what's really important.
What is the largest difference between when Black Tide started and now? Like,
I think there are so many differences. There's too many to just name in one interview. First of all, you know, Gabriel wrote some of the songs on Life from Above when he was 10 years old. The song is Shout. You know what I mean? Now he's 18. You can only imagine what kind of changes someone goes through from 10 to 18. Those are pivotal. It's a pivotal point in someone's life. You know, and those years are I mean, from anyone from 10 to 18, what was it? What was I doing? What were you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And of course, someone's going to change. Not only you know, as far as mentally, but what they're doing physically. And in that, his voice changed. So we had to go through a lot, kind of reinventing ourselves and really finding out what we were going to do and what we wanted to be. You know, Life from Above years, we were more into. I feel like we were a little bit more close-minded as far as what we were listening to, and not necessarily that it's a bad thing, but now we're just open towards everything, and we just don't limit ourselves, and we love all music, you know what I mean? And we want to be able to create anything that we come up with, and just be able to be happy with it.
Going back to you guys, well, I know Gabe was under 18 when you guys got signed. Most of you were, I believe. And do you feel that, you know, getting in the music industry, you maybe had to grow up a little faster?
Absolutely.
How do you, I don't want to say do you regret it, but do you ever feel maybe you missed out just a little bit?
Absolutely. You know, we're always making sacrifices, especially out on the road, especially at such a young age. When Gabriel came out, excuse me, you know, I went to college, and then I had to leave college to record our first album. But Gabriel, you know, he had to leave school much earlier than I did. So I can only imagine, you know, how sometimes he feels like, you know, like he missed out on some things. But, you know, we've got our eyes set on the prize, and we want to just be able to do this. And at the same point, you know, we're just as lucky, and we're even luckier than other people, because some people, you know, go through school, go through the whole system, finish college, and still don't know what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? At such a young age, Gabriel was 8 when he started playing, 10 when he started, you know, writing serious songs, and we were all young, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing guitar, jamming with Austin since we were like 10 and 12, you know, and Zach's been in the game early too. So we're very fortunate knowing what we wanted to do with our lives at such a young age, in that we were able to, you know, focus on that and create and hone in on our skills and really just work on our career at such a young age. That's why we're you know, here right now, because we've practiced so hard and we've done so much to be here. People might see the facade and realize, well, these kids are so young and they're new to this, but really we've been doing this for a decade, you know, or nearly a decade. It's just we started out younger than most people do, you know, and we've been fortunate enough to be discovered at such a young age. So it's a great thing. But yeah, as your question goes, we are making sacrifices. It's tough to keep relationships on the road. You always, you know, you leave your friends back home and your family. It's always difficult, but, you know, like I said, we wouldn't change it for anything.
Do you felt the music industry maybe put pressure on you guys to change, to form you into somebody you weren't?
No, not at all.
You shared the stage with bands such as Lamb of God, Bolt from Valentine, Avenged Sevenfold, and Escape the Fate, just to name a few. Have you taken anything from those bands? Maybe they kind of inspired you or helped, like in some ways, help you improve with what you guys have done?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like we're always learning. You know what I mean? That's what we can do every day with every tour we're on. We're always trying to pick up things and be better at what we're doing. And you know, every band that's taken us out or we've been out with you know, we've been very fortunate with that. Like I said, we've been out with, you know, I mean, if you look at the list of bands that we've I'm not going to name them all, but we've been very fortunate. We've been fortunate enough to tour all over the world, and there's insane talent out there. So we're always looking forward to meeting new people as well.
Okay. Has there ever been a time where you just stopped and you really sat down and you thought, okay, maybe I need to step back a little and pause, or just like you've maybe said, I really want to reach that by this time, like. I'll just read it. Oh, sorry.
Alright, that's fine.
Has there ever been a time that you have stopped and looked at where you are today and been totally blown away?
Oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely. Every day, every day it's so surreal. Like, I mean, we wake up and we're on a tour bus. I remember dreaming about this when I was like 8, 9 years old, and now we're just living it. We're always trying to push ourselves. We're always trying to be better and do everything. And I especially am trying to do that. And I find like the more I spread myself out, the harder it is. So sometimes I like look back and try and focus on a few things at a time.
If you weren't in the band right now, what do you think you'd be doing?
I wouldn't feel as fulfilled with whatever I was doing. I went to college for business, and that's always fun. And that's like something that I would love to be doing. But I mean, there's no reason I can't be, a businessman and a musician, which is much more fulfilling.
Yeah, to have like multi-careers.
Right.
Must be really sick. Being part of several tours recently and in the past, has there been any moments with fans that you may have encountered that inspired you individually?
Like I said, we're inspired every single day by our fans, like I was talking about. Anyone that comes out to our show and sings our lyrics, and I can see that on stage, is very inspiring to me. It keeps me going. You know what I mean?
Do you have anything you'd like to say to your fans?
Yeah, well, thank you guys for all the support, for coming out. I know we put you guys through a lot with this new record. And, it's been a while, but it is finally out, and hopefully you think it's worth the wait. And promise it's not going to be as long for the next one.
Do you have a question for Escape the Fate?
Do I have a question?
For Escape the Fate.
No.
Okay.
We hang out with them all the time.
Yeah.
If I have any questions, I just ask them. But I've never had any questions. Actually, we're going to be hitting the boxing. I've been boxing lately with Robert.
That's what I'm interviewing next. Do you have any questions for the Calabosian staff?
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Last question. As we all know, it's fall, and we're coming to Halloween. What are some of your favorite scary movies?
What are some of my favorite scary movies? You know what? The only thing I can think of that comes to mind, when I'm thinking of a scary movie is The Exorcist. Because I saw it by myself when I was like 8 or 9 years old, and I was like, that movie scared me. I saw that little flash of a face every time I went to bed, like the next couple of days. The next couple of years probably. So I was young. I don't recommend it for kids, but that was a scary movie. Other than that, I can't really think of too many scary movies.
Okay. And if you were in a zombie apocalypse, what would your escape route or means of survival be?
I just probably post up in my house and bring all my friends there because I have plenty of guns and plenty of ammo.
Alright. Guys, that was Steven from Black Tide, and hopefully we'll hear from them soon, and we can't wait to see more tours and what you guys bring out in the future, and be on the lookout for Escape the Fate next. Bye.